Adjectives. Adjectives are words that are used to describe nouns and pronouns and to quantify and identify them. In a nutshell, adjectives are what define nouns and give them characteristics to differentiate them from other nouns. Example: he was wearing a blue shirt. Here, blue is an adjective as it is describing the noun shirt by answering the question, what kind of shirt? Second example: there are 7 rooms in the house. Here, 7 is also an adjective as it's telling the quantity or the number of the noun rooms, answering the question, how many rooms? There are different types of adjectives based upon their effect on a noun and what do they tell about the noun. There are 5 categories of adjectives. First category: adjectives of quality. These adjectives are used to describe the nature of the noun. They give an idea about the characteristics of the noun by answering the question, what kind? Examples: New Delhi is a large city with many historical monuments. Sheila is a beautiful woman. Second category: adjectives of quantity. These adjectives help to show the amount or the approximate amount of the noun or pronoun. These adjectives do not provide exact numbers. Rather, they tell us the amount of the noun in relative or whole terms. Examples: they have finished most of the rice. Many people came to visit the fair. Third category: adjectives of number. These adjectives are used to show the number of nouns and their place in an order. There are 3 different sections within adjectives of number. They are the following: definite numerical adjectives are those which clearly denote an exact number of nouns or the order of the noun. Examples: 1, 2, 20, 33, and many more are also known as the cardinals. Other examples: first, second, third, seventh, and many more, also known as ordinals. Indefinite numeral adjectives. The indefinite numeral adjective are those adjectives that do not give an exact numerical amount by just giving a general idea of the amount. Example: some, many, few, 80, several, all, and many more. Another example: there were many people present at the meeting. Distributive numeral adjective. The distributive numeral adjective are those adjectives that are used to refer to individual nouns within the whole amount. Examples: either, neither, each, another, other, and many more. Another example: taxes have to be paid by every employed citizen. Fourth category: demonstrative adjectives. These adjectives are used to point out or indicate a particular noun or pronoun using the adjectives. Examples: that bag belongs to Neil. Try using this paintbrush in art class. I really like those shoes. These flowers are lovely. Fifth category: interrogative adjectives. These adjectives are used to ask questions about nouns or in relation to nouns. Examples: where did he say he was going? Which is your favorite author? Whose pen is this? In some instances, we find that we need to use more than one adjective to describe a noun in a satisfactory manner. In these cases, commas are used to separate the adjectives, but some series of adjectives do not require a comma. Therefore, we need to know the difference between coordinate and non-coordinate adjectives. Coordinate adjectives are those words which can be rearranged in the series easily and are still grammatically sound. This kind of series makes use of commas. This series can also insert "and" between them and still be correct. Examples: she was a kind, generous, loving human being. She was a generous, loving, kind human being. She was a loving, kind, and generous human being. Here, we can see that all three sentences are grammatically correct. In this case, the adjectives only need to be separated by commas. Non-coordinate adjectives. These are those adjectives which cannot be rearranged in the series. These do not use commas to separate the adjectives. Also, this kind of series do not make sense if we insert "and" between them. Examples: she has two energetic, playful dogs. She has playful two energetic dogs. She is energetic and playful and two dogs. Here, we see that only the first sentence makes sense and is grammatically correct. The second and third ones are incorrect. Hence, the sentence uses non-coordinate adjectives and does not need commas. There are certain rules regarding the placement of different kinds of adjectives in a sentence. The general order followed is determiners, observations, quantity and opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material and qualifier. Comparison of adjectives. When we want to compare two or more nouns using adjectives, we use the comparative and superlative forms of the adjective to show the comparison between the nouns. Example: honey is sweet, sugar is sweeter, but victory is the sweetest. In this sentence, we are comparing the three nouns using the positive, comparative, and superlative forms of the word sweet. Positive form. These are the simple adjectives that simply describe the noun without comparing it to another. Examples: she has a big black dog. He is a sweet boy. The cupboard is clean. Comparative form. These are used when we are comparing two nouns and need to show which noun possesses the adjective or character in a greater or lesser amount when compared with the other. Examples: I have a big dog, but hers is bigger. He is sweeter than the other boys. The cupboard is cleaner than before. Superlative form. This form is used when three or more nouns are being compared and we need to show that one or more of the nouns possess the adjective or characteristic to the highest amount possible. We usually add the before the superlative form. Examples: she has the biggest dog in the colony. He is the sweetest boy in his class. The cupboard is the cleanest thing in the house. Making comparatives and superlatives. There are certain rules that must be followed in making of the comparatives and superlatives of the adjective. Not all adjectives from their comparatives and superlatives in the same way, and there are also some irregular adjectives that form completely different comparative and superlative forms. These are the examples in which we use ER to make the comparative and EST to make the superlative. Black, blacker, blackest, fair, fairer, fairest, clever, cleverer, cleverest. When there is a silent E at the end of the positive form, we remove that and add ER and EST. Nice, nicer, nicest, late, later, latest. When the adjective ends with a Y, we convert the Y into I before adding ER and EST. Pretty, prettier, prettiest, lazy, lazier, laziest. If the adjective is a small one with little stress on the vowel, we double the last consonant. Hot, hotter, hottest, wet, wetter, wettest. For other double syllable words that do not end with Y, ER, EO, LE, and for adjectives with more than 2 syllables, we use more and most to form the comparative and superlatives. Difficult, more difficult, most difficult, careful, more careful, most careful, handsome, more handsome, most handsome. There are few adjectives that can use both ER and EST and more and most to form their comparative and superlative forms. The distinction between this is that ER and EST are used when we are comparing the noun to another noun, and more and most is used when we are comparing characteristics within the noun. clever. Cleverer or more clever. Cleverest or most clever. Examples: he is clever than her. He is more clever than studios. Quiet. Quieter or more quiet. Quietest or most quiet. Examples: this is the most quiet it gets here. This is the quietest place. These adjectives do not make their comparative and superlative forms using the other rules. Their comparative and superlative forms are different words altogether. Bad. Worse. Worst. Good. Better. Best. Old. Elder. Eldest. Little. Less. Least.